So if you've watched other videos on my channel, you've probably seen that I had a 2014 Subaru Crosstrek that I owned for a couple of years, and I sold that, upgraded to an Audi Q5, but one of my other vehicles is in getting some detailing today, and the dealer gave me a loaner car, and so I have a chance to review a 2014 Subaru Forester. I thought this would be an interesting comparison because the Forester and the Crosstrek have a lot in common, and typically if you're shopping for one of the two, you're kind of considering the other as a potential alternative. And so I thought, given my experience with the Crosstrek, this would be a good chance to share some insight about the Forester and maybe shed some light on which of the two is the better option. Now, just as far as appearance on the Forester, that's kind of the reason that I went with the Crosstrek. For me personally, I actually never did consider the Forester as an alternative because of the styling. I think that it's a little bit awkward looking, just sort of some strange random curves and slants, and just isn't really a look that I'm into. Really, you know, in comparison, like the look of the Crosstrek, I think that it's really sporty and has a nice look. Now the Forester has improved a lot. They started producing it in 1997, and this is probably, I want to say, the 4th generation of it. And it started out as a really boxy, kind of funky looking in-between car and SUV. And I think that they have cleaned it up quite a bit, but I'm still not real crazy about the style. Now the Subaru Crosstrek and the Forester are built on the same platform, as well as the Subaru Impreza. So if you compare a Subaru Impreza hatchback wagon to the Crosstrek, they're basically the same vehicle. The main difference being that the Crosstrek has a little bit of a lift, it's got slightly different suspension, and then it's got some plastic body molding that gives it more of a rugged look. The Forester, in comparison, is built on the same platform, and it shares a lot of the same parts. For example, the dashboard on the interior looks virtually identical to the Crosstrek. It's got the same steering wheel, same dash, all the controls, shifter, everything is basically the exact same between the two vehicles. However, unlike the Impreza, it's not an identical vehicle, and so they've made some other changes with that. For example, the Forester's got a lot more cargo space. So the Crosstrek, as you know if you've been looking at them, slants kind of like this on the back. Gives it a nice sporty look. Obviously not as functional when you look at space. So with the seats folded down in here, you get some really big objects into the Forester. Likewise, if we were to take the seats and put them up, you'll see that you still have quite a bit of cargo space in the back of the vehicle. So even though it's got the same platform as the Crosstrek, and there's a lot that's really similar parts-wise, the Forester's got a lot more cargo space than the Crosstrek. As far as legroom, it looks like maybe you've got a little bit more than the Crosstrek. Not a significant difference there, but a little more. The other real noticeable difference for me is the roof height. There's a huge amount of roof height once you're seated in the vehicle. And give some perspective how much space there is between my head and the ceiling. And you can also lower the seat, raise it. It almost feels a little bit too tall to me, but you know, if you're taller, that might be a good thing. You might be looking for that. Now, with those things aside, so the main differences between the Crosstrek and the Forester are styling, cargo space. Forester's got a slightly larger tow capacity, but then the other thing, if you've seen any of my reviews on the Crosstrek, the thing that I disliked the most was underpowered. Now the Forester XT is got a turbocharger in it. So the Crosstrek and the base model of the Forester has got 170 horsepower. The Forester XT has got 250 horsepower because of a turbocharger. And so it makes a significant difference in the performance and acceleration of this vehicle. So that was the thing that I disliked the most about my Crosstrek, was the lack of power. With the Forester, you solve that. So if you're looking between the Forester and the Crosstrek, it really comes down to what you're looking for in the vehicle. If you're looking for styling, I'd say that with a Crosstrek you're going to get that. If you're looking for cargo space, if you're looking for performance, then the Forester is going to be able to meet those for you. If you're looking for performance, cargo, and styling, I'd go with something other than the two. Obviously, unless this is a vehicle that you like. They're obviously a very popular car. A lot of people have them. And so, you know, that's just individual taste. For me, I don't care for it, but I know that a lot of people do. So anyway, if you have any questions about differences between the Crosstrek and the Forester, leave them in the comments below and I'll try to answer them.